What would you do if you discovered the homeless-looking guy you just gave your heart to was actually worth $2.8 billion? That's exactly what happened to Maya when she met a man digging through dumpsters behind her coffee shop. She brought him food, offered him a place to stay, and slowly fell in love with his kindness and resilience. But when she accidentally saw his bank statement, her entire world turned upside down. This isn't just another rich guy, poor girl story. It's about deception, genuine love, and a twist that nobody saw coming. Before we begin the story, comment below where you're watching from. Enjoy the story. Please subscribe to my channel for more sweet videos like this. Let the story continue. Maya's hands shook as she held the crumpled newspaper. The headline screamed at her in bold letters. Tech billionaire James Carter secretly dates coffee shop waitress for 6 months. Below was a photo of the man she thought she knew. The same gentle eyes, the same crooked smile, but now he was wearing an expensive suit and standing next to a massive mansion. No, 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 she whispered, her voice breaking. This can't be real. But there it was, right in front of her. The man who told her he was unemployed, who said he was struggling to pay rent, who let her buy him dinner so many times because he claimed he was between jobs. He was worth $12 billion. $12 billion. Maya's legs gave out, and she collapsed into the chair behind her. The coffee shop around her seemed to spin. Customers were staring, whispering, pointing at the newspaper in her hands. She could hear fragments of their conversations. That's her, isn't it? The girl from the story. She had no idea he was rich. How could she be so stupid? Her phone buzzed. A text from James. Maya, I can explain everything. Please don't believe what you're reading. Meet me at our usual spot. I love you. Love? How could he talk about love when everything had been a lie? Maya stood up, her whole body trembling with anger and heartbreak. She walked to the window and saw him across the street, standing by his beat-up old car, except now she realized it probably wasn't his real car either. He was looking at the coffee shop, hoping she would come out. She pressed her palm against the cold glass, tears streaming down her face. 6 months of her life. 6 months of falling deeper and deeper in love with a man who didn't even exist. But how did it all start? How did a billionaire end up in her small coffee shop, pretending to be broke? And more importantly, why? 3 weeks earlier, Maya Rodriguez had been working at Brew and Bean Coffee Shop for 2 years. It wasn't glamorous, but it paid the bills for her tiny apartment and helped her save money for college. She had dreams of becoming a teacher, but those dreams felt very far away when she was making minimum wage. The morning everything changed started like any other. Maya arrived at 6 a.m. to open the shop, turn on the machines, and prepared for the usual rush of office workers needing their caffeine fix. But at 7:30, something unusual happened. Instead of the typical business people in fancy suits, a man walked in who looked different. He was tall with dark hair that looked like he'd just rolled out of bed. His jeans had holes in them. His sneakers were worn out, and his t-shirt had a small stain on it. "Hi," he said, approaching the counter with a shy smile. What's the cheapest thing you have?" Maya looked at him with curiosity. Most people ask for the most expensive drink, the triple shot vanilla latte with extra foam. But this guy wanted the cheapest thing? "Well, our small black coffee is $2, she said gently. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a handful of coins, counting them carefully. "Perfect. 1 small black coffee, please." As Maya prepared his drink, she noticed his hands. They were soft, not rough like someone who did manual labor. But his clothes and the way he counted his coins told a different story. "Here you go," she said, handing him the coffee. "Thank you," he said, and their fingers touched for just a moment. Maya felt a little spark of electricity. "I'm Maya, by the way." "James," he said, his smile getting wider. "Nice to meet you, Maya." He found a seat in the corner of the shop, pulled out an old laptop that looked like it might fall apart, and started typing. Maya tried not to stare, but there was something about him that made her curious. For the next hour, James sat in that corner, making his small coffee last as long as possible. When Maya's manager wasn't looking, she quietly refilled his cup for free. "You didn't have to do that." James said when she brought him the refill. "It's okay," Maya whispered. "I know what it's like to count every penny." Something in his eyes changed when she said that. It was like he was seeing her for the first time. "Thank you," he said softly. "Really, thank you." When James left, Maya found herself thinking about him for the rest of the day. There was something special about him, something that made her heart beat a little faster. The next morning, he came back. Same worn-out clothes, same careful counting of coins, same request for the cheapest coffee. "You're becoming a regular," Maya said with a smile. "I hope that's okay," James said. "I like this place. It's peaceful." "Of course it's okay. I'm glad you're here." This continued for a week. Every morning, James would come in, order his $2 coffee, and sit in the corner with his old laptop. And every morning, Maya would secretly give him a free refill. On Friday of that first week, Maya noticed James looking at the pastries in the display case. He stared at a chocolate croissant for a long time, then shook his head and looked away. "Would you like one?" Maya asked. "I can't afford it," James said, his cheeks turning red with embarrassment. Maya's heart broke a little. She knew exactly how that felt. Wanting something small and simple, but not being able to have it because money was tight. Maya went to the back room and returned with a chocolate croissant on a plate. "This one's a little old," she lied. "We were just going to throw it away. Want to help us out?" James looked at her with such gratitude that Maya felt tears forming in her eyes. "Are you sure?" he asked. "Positive." As James ate the croissant, Maya watched his face light up with joy. It was like watching a little kid on Christmas morning. "This is incredible," he said. "I haven't had anything this good in months." "I'm glad you like it." "Maya," James said, looking directly into her eyes. "You're really kind. Thank you for being so nice to me." "Everyone deserves kindness," Maya said simply. That afternoon, as James was getting ready to leave, he turned to Maya with a nervous expression. "I know this might sound weird," he said, "but would you maybe want to have dinner with me sometime? I mean, I can't afford anywhere fancy, but there's this little taco truck that has really good food for cheap." Maya's heart started beating fast. She had been hoping he would ask. "I'd love to," she said. James's face broke into the biggest smile Maya had ever seen. "Really? Tomorrow night? It's a date." After James left, Maya couldn't stop smiling. She had never been asked on a date by someone who seemed so genuine, so real. Most guys her age were either too confident or too shy, but James was different. He was humble, grateful, and there was something mysterious about him that made her want to know more. The next evening, Maya put on her nicest dress, which wasn't very nice, but it was the best she had. She met James at the taco truck, and he was wearing the same jeans and t-shirt he always wore. "You look beautiful," he said, and Maya could tell he really meant it. They ordered their food. James insisted on paying, even though Maya could see him counting his money carefully again. They found a park bench to sit on and ate their tacos under the stars. "Tell me about yourself," Maya said. "What do you do for work?" James was quiet for a moment. "I'm between jobs right now," he said. "I used to work in tech, but the company went out of business. I'm trying to figure out what to do next." "That must be really hard," Maya said, putting her hand on his arm. "I'm sorry." "It's okay," James said. "Things will work out eventually. What about you? Do you want to work in coffee forever?" Maya laughed. "Definitely not. I'm saving money for college. I want to be a teacher." "That's amazing," James said, and the way he said made Maya feel like her dream was the most important thing in the world. They talked for hours about everything and nothing. James told her about his childhood, about loving books and computers. Maya told him about her family, about her parents who worked 2 jobs, each to support her and her little brother. "You're incredible," James said as they walked Maya back to her apartment building. "I've never met anyone like you." "You're pretty amazing yourself," Maya said. They stood outside her building, both not wanting the night to end. "Can I see you again?" James asked. "I'd be disappointed if you didn't ask," Maya said. James smiled and leaned in slowly. Maya's heart was pounding as their lips met in a gentle, sweet kiss. "Good night, Maya," he whispered. Good night, James. As Maya watched him walk away, she felt like she was floating. She had never felt this way about anyone before. James was different from every other guy she'd ever met. He was kind, he was grateful for small things, and he treated her like she was precious. Over the next few weeks, Maya and James fell into a routine. He would come to the coffee shop every morning, and she would secretly give him free refills and pastries. In the evenings, they would go on dates to places that didn't cost much money. Walks in park, cheap movies, food trucks, or just sitting on Maya's fire escape talking about their dreams. Maya started to fall in love with James. Real love, the kind of love that made her heart race when she saw him, the kind that made her want to take care of him and protect him from the world. She noticed that James never talked about his family or his past in detail. When she asked about his parents, he would get quiet and change the subject. When she asked about his old job, he would just say it was complicated and talk about something else. Maya decided she didn't mind. Everyone had secrets, and she trusted that James would tell her when he was ready. One evening, 3 weeks after their first date, Maya and James were walking to the park when Maya's phone rang. It was her landlord. "Maya, I'm sorry to call so late, but I need to talk to you about your rent," he said. "You're 2 months behind. I know you're a good kid, but I need the money by Friday or I'll have to start eviction proceedings." Maya's face went pale. She had been so focused on saving for college that she had gotten behind on rent. She had $800 in her savings account, but she owed $1,200. "I understand," she said quietly. "I'll figure something out." When she hung up, James was looking at her with concern. "Everything okay?" he asked. Maya felt tears starting to form. "I'm about to be evicted," she said. "I'm short $400 for rent, and I don't know what to do." James's face changed. For a moment, Maya thought she saw something like anger flash in his eyes, but then it was gone. "How much do you need?" he asked. "For $100. But James, I know you don't have that kind of money. I'll figure something out. Maybe I can pick up extra shifts or sell something or—" "Maya," James said, taking her hands. "Let me help you. I can't ask you to do that. You're already struggling. You're not asking. I'm offering." Maya looked into his eyes and saw something she couldn't quite understand. It was like he was in pain, like her problem was hurting him too. "I don't have cash," James said, "but I have a credit card. I can pay your landlord directly." "James, no. You'll go into debt for me." "I don't care about debt. I care about you." Maya felt her heart breaking and healing at the same time. Here was this man who had so little, and he was willing to go into debt to help her. "I'll pay you back," she said, tears streaming down her face. "Don't worry about that right now," James said, pulling her into a hug. "We'll figure out together." The next morning, James came to the coffee shop early, before Maya opened. He was standing outside with flowers, cheap ones from the grocery store, but beautiful nonetheless. "Good morning," he said, kissing her softly. "Good morning," Maya said, her heart full of love for this incredible man. "I called your landlord," James said. "Your rent is taken care of." Maya started crying again. "James, I love you so much." "I love you too," he said, and Maya could hear the emotion in his voice. They held each other outside the coffee shop as the sun came up, both of them feeling like they had found something precious and rare. But as Maya unlocked the door to the shop, she couldn't shake the feeling that there was something James wasn't telling her. The way he had handled the rent situation so easily, the way he never seemed to worry about money even though he claimed to be broke, the way he sometimes said things that made him sound educated and sophisticated. Maya pushed these thoughts away. James had just saved her from being homeless. He was good and kind, and he loved her. That was all that mattered. She had no idea that across town, in a mansion worth $50 million, James's assistant was wondering where her boss had disappeared to for the past month. She had no idea that the old laptop James used was actually a custom-built computer worth more than her entire year's salary. She had no idea that the man she was falling in love with was one of the richest people in the country, but she was about to find out. As Maya prepared the coffee shop for opening, she noticed a black SUV parked across the street. Inside, a man in a suit was talking on his phone and taking pictures of the shop. That's weird, Maya thought, but she was too happy about James saving her from eviction to worry about it. She had no idea that the man in the SUV was a reporter, and that he had been following James for weeks, trying to figure out why a billionaire was spending all his time in a rundown coffee shop. The reporter's phone call was to his editor. "I found him. James Carter has been living a double life. He's been dating some waitress and pretending to be poor. This is going to be the story of a year." Maya hummed to herself as she prepared for another day, completely unaware that her world was about to be turned upside down. James walked in at his usual time, ordered his usual cheap coffee, and sat in his usual corner. Maya gave him his usual free refill and smiled at him like she always did. Neither of them noticed a reporter outside, taking pictures through the window. Neither of them knew that in exactly 3 weeks, Maya would be holding a newspaper with James's face on it, discovering that the man she loved had been lying to her about everything. The trap was set. The story was being written. And Maya had no idea that she was about to become the most heartbroken girl in the city. But for now, at this moment, she was just a girl in love with a boy who had saved her from losing her home. And that felt like the most beautiful thing in the world. James caught her eye from across the room and smiled. Maya smiled back, her heart full of love and gratitude. If only she knew what was coming. Maya stared at James through the coffee shop window, her heart pounding so hard she thought it might explode. The newspaper was still in her hands, the headline burning into her mind. Tech billionaire James Carter secretly dates coffee shop waitress. James saw her looking and started walking toward the shop. Maya panicked. She wasn't ready to face him. She wasn't ready to hear his explanations or his lies. She ran to the back room and locked the door, sliding down against it until she was sitting on the floor. Her phone was buzzing nonstop with calls and texts from James, but she couldn't answer. She needed to think. $12 billion. The number kept spinning in her head. While she had been worrying about rent money and buying him dinner because she thought he was hungry, he had $12 billion sitting in his bank account. Maya pulled out her phone and did something she had never done before. She Googled James Carter. What she found made her feel sick. Page after page of articles about tech genius James Carter and his company, Carter Technologies. Photos of him at fancy parties, wearing expensive suits, standing next to celebrities and politicians. Articles about his mansion, his cars, his private jet. And then she found something that made her heart stop completely. It was an interview from last year where James was asked about his personal life. His answer was, I don't have time for relationships. Love is a distraction from building great things. I've never met anyone who could understand my world. Maya felt like she was going to throw up. Not only had he lied about being poor, but he had been lying about loving her too. There was a soft knock on the back door of the shop. Maya, please. James's voice came through the door. I know you're in there. Please let me explain. Go away. Maya shouted, her voice breaking. I can't go away. I love you. You love me? Maya stood up, anger flooding through her. You love me so much that you lied about everything? You love me so much that you let me buy you dinner when you could buy this entire building. Maya, please. No. Maya yanked open the door. James was standing there. And for the first time, she noticed things she had missed before. His worn-out clothes were actually expensive brands that were made to look old. His old laptop had a tiny logo she now recognized as a custom computer company that only made machines for rich people. How could you do this to me? Maya asked, tears streaming down her face. James's eyes were red, like he had been crying too. I can explain everything. Please, just give me 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Maya laughed bitterly. You've been lying to me for 6 months, and you think 5 minutes is enough? Maya, you don't understand. I never meant for this to happen. I never meant to fall in love with you. Oh, so falling in love with me was a mistake. No, that's not what I meant. James ran his hands through his hair, looking desperate. This is all coming out wrong. Please, let me start from the beginning. Maya wanted to slam the door in his face, but something in his voice made her pause. He sounded genuinely hurt, genuinely sorry. You have 5 minutes, she said coldly. Then I never want to see you again. James took a deep breath. 6 months ago, I was miserable. I know that sounds crazy because I have money, but everyone around me only cared about what I could give them. Every person I met wanted something from me. I couldn't tell if anyone actually liked me or just liked my money. Maya crossed her arms, not wanting to feel sorry for him, but finding herself listening anyway. I was driving around the city, feeling sorry for myself when I saw this coffee shop. I had never been to a place like this before, somewhere small and normal and real. I parked outside and watched people go in and out, and everyone looked happy, like they belonged somewhere. So, you decided to play pretend? Maya asked harshly. I didn't plan it, James said. I just walked in, and when you asked what I wanted, I panicked. I saw the prices, and I thought about how much money I spent on coffee usually, like $50 for some fancy drink, and I felt embarrassed. So I asked for the cheapest thing. And then you decided to keep lying? I was going to tell you the truth after that first day, but then James looked at her with such sadness that Maya felt her heart crack a little. Then you refilled my coffee for free. And you looked at me like I was a person, not a bank account. For the first time in my life, someone was being kind to me without wanting anything in return. Maya wanted to stay angry, but she remembered that first day, how grateful James had looked when she gave him the free refill. So you decided to keep lying to me for 6 months? I kept telling myself I would tell you the truth tomorrow, then the next day, then the next day. But every time I tried, I got scared. I was scared you would look at me differently. I was scared you would think I was just another rich guy trying to buy your attention. Instead, you became a rich guy who lied to get my attention. James flinched like she had hit him. I know I messed up. But Maya, everything I felt for you was real. Every moment we spent together was real. I might have lied about my job and my money, but I never lied about loving you. How can I believe anything you say? Maya asked, you watch me stress about rent money. You watch me work extra shifts to save for college. You let me buy you dinner because I thought you were hungry. How could you do that to someone you claim to love? I tried to help you with the rent, with fake money problems. You made me feel guilty for accepting help when you could have paid my rent with the money you probably spent on lunch. James looked like he was in physical pain. I know, I handled everything wrong. I should have told you the truth from the beginning. Yes, you should have. Maya wiped her eyes. But you didn't. You chose to lie to me every single day for 6 months. Maya, please. I know I don't deserve forgiveness, but I'm begging you to give me a chance to make this right. Make it right? James, I don't even know who you are. The man I fell in love with doesn't exist. He was poor and humble and grateful for small things. The real you is some billionaire who thinks love is a distraction and who has never met anyone who could understand his world. James's face went pale. You saw that interview. I saw a lot of interviews. I saw a lot of things about the real James Carter, and none of them are the man I thought I knew. That interview was from before I met you, before I knew what love actually felt like. How convenient. Maya, I'm the same person you fell in love with. I just have more money than I told you. No, you're not the same person. The person I loved was honest. The person I loved understood what it was like to struggle. The person I loved would never lie to someone he claimed to care about. James was quiet for a long moment. What can I do? Tell me what I can do to fix this. Maya looked at him, really looked at him, and realized she didn't know this man at all. The James she loved was kind and humble and real. This James was a stranger who had been playing a part. Nothing, she said quietly. There's nothing you can do. Please don't say that. James, you don't understand. It's not just that you lied about being poor. It's that you watched me struggle and did nothing. You watched me worry about money and work myself to death, and you could have helped me for real, but instead you played this sick game. It wasn't a game. What would you call it? You were pretending to be someone you're not. You were lying about everything. You were watching me like I was some kind of entertainment. That's not true. Isn't it? Some rich guy gets bored and decides to see how the poor people live. Let's pretend to be broke and see if this stupid waitress will fall for it. Maya, no. It wasn't like that at all. Then what was it like, James? Because from where I'm standing, it looks like you were making fun of my life. James was crying now. I was trying to be normal. I was trying to be the kind of man you could love. The kind of man I could love would tell me the truth. I was scared. Scared of what? Scared I'd like you for your money? Well, congratulations, James. Now I don't like you at all. The words hit James like a physical blow. He stumbled backward, his face crumpling. Maya, please. I love you more than anything in this world. I know I messed up, but what we have is real. What we have is over. Don't say that. Please don't say that. Maya looked at James one last time, memorizing his face, so she would remember this moment forever. Goodbye, James. She started to close the door, but James put his hand against it. Maya, wait. There's something else you need to know. What else could there possibly be? James looked terrified. The reason this story is in the newspaper, I think someone has been following me. Following us. I think there might be photographers outside right now. Maya's blood went cold. What do you mean? I think this story is going to be everywhere. TV, internet, magazines. I think you're going to be famous. Famous for what? For being the girl who fell for a billionaire. Maya felt the world spinning around her. Oh my God. Oh my God. People are going to think I'm some kind of gold digger. I won't let that happen. I'll make sure everyone knows the truth. That you didn't know who I was. The truth? You wouldn't know the truth if it hit you in the face. Maya slammed the door and locked it. She could hear James on the other side, pleading with her, but she couldn't listen anymore. She pulled out her phone and called her best friend, Rosa. Rosa, I need you to come to the coffee shop right now. Something terrible has happened. What's wrong? Are you okay? James isn't who I thought he was. He's a billionaire, Rosa. And now it's in the newspaper, and I think there are photographers outside, and I don't know what to do. I'm coming right now. Don't talk to anyone until I get there. Maya hung up and peeked through the window. James was gone, but there were definitely people with cameras across the street. Her phone was buzzing with calls from numbers she didn't recognize. She turned off her phone and sat on the floor, trying to process what had just happened. 6 months of her life had been a lie. The man she loved didn't exist. The real James Carter was a stranger who had been playing dress-up in her world. And now the whole world was going to know about it. Maya put her head in her hands and cried harder than she had ever cried in her life. 20 minutes later, Rosa burst through the back door. Maya, oh my God, you okay? Rosa hugged her friend tightly. I'm not okay. I'm never going to be okay again. Tell me everything. Maya told Rosa the whole story, meeting James, falling in love, the rent money, and then discovering the truth. Rosa listened without interrupting, her eyes getting wider with each detail. I can't believe this, Rosa said when Maya finished. He really pretended to be poor for 6 months? He let me buy him dinner, Rosa. He watched me stress about $20, and he's worth $12 billion. That's so messed up. And now everyone is going to know. Everyone is going to think I'm stupid for falling for it. You're not stupid. You're trusting. There's a difference. I feel so embarrassed. How could I not have known? Because you're a good person who doesn't assume people are lying to you. Maya's phone buzzed. She had turned it back on to call Rosa, and now she had 47 missed calls and 128 text messages. I think I need to get out of here, Maya said. The photographers are still outside. Come stay at my place. We'll figure this out. As Maya packed a bag, she thought about all the moments with James that now seemed fake. Their first kiss, their quiet talks, the way he looked at her like she was the most important person in the world. Had any of it been real? Rosa helped Maya sneak out the back door and into her car. As they drove away, Maya looked back at the coffee shop where she had met James, where she had fallen in love with a man who didn't exist. Rosa, Maya said quietly, what if I never get over this? What if I never trust anyone again? You will. It's going to take time, but you will. I really loved him. I love him so much. I know you did. But he wasn't even real. Rosa reached over and took Maya's hand. Your love was real. That's what matters. Maya looked out the window at the city passing by. Somewhere out there, James Carter was probably in his mansion, surrounded by his billions of dollars, trying to figure out how to fix what he had broken. But some things couldn't be fixed. Some lies were too big to forgive. Maya had learned it the hard way. As they drove through the city, Maya's phone rang. It was a number she didn't recognize. Don't answer it, Rosa said. It's probably a reporter. Maya declined the call, but immediately another one came in. Then another. Then another. Turn off your phone, Rosa said. Just turn it off. Maya was about to turn off her phone when she saw a text from James. Maya, I'm so sorry. I know you hate me, but please be careful. The reporters are going to try to trick you into saying things. Don't trust anyone you don't know. I'm hiring security to make sure you're safe. Maya showed the text to Rosa. Even now he's trying to control things, Rosa said. He's trying to be your hero. I don't want his security. I don't want his help. Then tell him that. Maya typed back, leave me alone. I don't want your money or your help or your security. I want you to stay out of my life forever. She hit send and then turned off her phone. Good, Rosa said. Now let's get you somewhere safe. But as they pulled into Rosa's apartment complex, Maya saw a news van parked outside. Oh no, Rosa said. How'd they find my address? They probably looked up all my friends, Maya said. Where can I go? Where can I hide? Rosa thought for a moment. My cousin lives outside the city. She has a small farm. No one would think to look for you there. I can't run away forever. You're not running away. You're taking time to figure out what to do next. Maya looked at the news van and made a decision. Let's go to your cousin's farm. As they drove out of the city, Maya watched the buildings get smaller and the sky get bigger. With every mile, she felt a little bit safer, but she also felt a little bit more alone. James had been her whole world for 6 months. Now she had to figure out how to build a new world without him. The hardest part was that she still loved him. Even knowing everything she knew, even understanding how badly he had hurt her, part of her still loved the man she thought he was. But that man had never existed, and Maya was going to have to learn how to live with that truth. As the city disappeared behind them, Maya's phone buzzed one more time before she turned it off completely. Another text from James. I know you don't want to hear this, but I need you to know I would give up every penny I have if it meant you would forgive me. You are worth more than all the money in the world. Maya read the text and felt her heart break all over again because she almost believed him, and that scared her more than anything else. Maya woke up 3 days later to the sound of Rosa's cousin Maria shaking her gently. Maya, honey, you need to see this, Maria said, holding up her phone with a worried expression. Maya sat up in the small farm bed, her heart immediately racing. What is it? It's everywhere. The story is everywhere. Maria showed Maya her phone screen. The headline read, Billionaire's fake poor boyfriend ACT exposed, waitress speaks out. I never spoke to anyone, Maya said, grabbing the phone to read more. But as she read the article, her blood turned to ice. The story was full of quotes that were supposed to be from her. I always suspected something was off about James. He didn't seem like a real poor person. When I found out he was rich, I wasn't surprised. I was actually relieved because now I could get some of his money. I'm planning to sue him for emotional damages. He owes me for all the dinners I bought him. I'm not hurt. I'm just angry that he didn't tell me sooner. We could have been living in his mansion this whole time. Maya felt sick. I never said any of these things. I never talked to any reporter. I know you didn't, Maria said gently. But the whole world thinks you did. Maya's hands were shaking as she scrolled through more articles. Every news website had the same story with the same fake quotes. The comments section was even worse. What a gold digger. She's probably happy she got caught. She's just mad because she got played by someone richer than her. I bet she knew all along. This is all fake. Poor James Carter. He was just trying to find real love and got trapped by a greedy waitress. Maya started crying. They're making me sound like a terrible person, like I'm some kind of villain. We need to call the newspapers and tell them these quotes are fake. Maria said, "It doesn't matter. Once something is on the internet, it's there forever. Everyone already believes I said these things." Maya's phone had been off for 3 days, but she turned it on now to see if James had tried to contact her. She had 312 missed calls and 1,847 text messages. Most of them were from reporters, but some were from James. Maya read through his messages. "Maya, I'm seeing the news stories. I know you didn't say those things. I'm hiring lawyers to fix this. The reporters are making up quotes. I'm going to sue every newspaper that printed lies about you. Please call me back. I can protect you from this. I'm so sorry this is happening to you. This is all my fault. I love you. I'm going to make this right." Maya wanted to throw her phone across the room. Even now, James was trying to be her hero, trying to save her from a mess that he had created. "Maya," Maria said carefully, "maybe you should consider talking to the press yourself. You could tell your side of the story." "And say what? That I'm the most gullible person in the world? That I fell in love with a man who lied to me for 6 months? You could say that you're hurt, that you trusted someone and they betrayed that trust." Maya thought about it. Maybe Maria was right. Maybe if she told the truth, people would understand that she wasn't a gold digger or a villain. But as she was considering it, Rosa called. "Maya, don't do any interviews," Rosa said immediately. "I've been watching the news, and they're not being fair to you. They're twisting everything to make you look bad. But if I don't say anything, everyone will believe the lies. And if you do say something, they'll twist that too. There's no winning with these people." Maya felt trapped. She couldn't stay hidden forever, but she also couldn't face the world when everyone thought she was a liar and a gold digger. "Rosa, I need to ask you something," Maya said. "Do you think I was stupid for not knowing James was rich?" "No, I think you were trusting. There's a difference. But looking back, there were signs. The way he talked, the way he handled the rent money, the way he never seemed stressed about being unemployed." "Maya, stop. You're not stupid for believing someone you loved. You're human." After talking to Rosa, Maya spent the rest of the day helping Maria with farm work, trying to keep her mind off everything. But every time she looked at her phone, there were more articles, more lies, more people saying terrible things about her. That evening, as Maya was feeding the chickens, she heard a car coming up the long driveway to the farm. "Maria," Maya called out, "are you expecting someone?" Maria came out of the house, looking confused. "No, I'm not expecting anyone." The car got closer, and Maya's heart stopped. It was James. "How'd he find me?" Maya asked, panic rising in her chest. "I don't know," Maria said. "Do you want me to tell him to leave?" Maya watched James get out his car. He looked terrible, like he hadn't slept in days. He was wearing a simple t-shirt and jeans, the same kind of clothes he used to wear when he was pretending to be poor. "I'll talk to him," Maya said, "but stay close in case I need help." Maya walked toward James, her heart pounding. When he saw her, his face lit up with hope. "Maya, thank God, I've been looking for you everywhere." "How did you find me?" "I hired a private investigator." "Maya, I'm so sorry about the news stories. I know you didn't say those things." "You hired a private investigator to find me?" "James, that's stalking. I just needed to make sure you were safe. The reporters have been looking for you too. So you decided to make it easier for them by tracking me down?" James looked confused. "I would never tell anyone where you are. I'm trying to protect you." "I don't want your protection. I want you to leave me alone." "Maya, please. I know you're angry, but we need to talk about this. The news stories are making you look bad, and I can fix that." "You can fix that?" "James, you caused this. All of this is your fault. I know, and I'm sorry. But let me help you now." Maya stared at him, feeling angry and sad and confused all at once. "You still don't get it, do you?" "Get what?" "You're still trying to control everything. You're still acting like you know what's best for me. I'm trying to help you." "I don't want your help. I want you to leave me alone and let me figure out my own life." James looked hurt. Maya, I love you. I can't just walk away when you're hurting. You should have thought about that before you lied to me for 6 months. I made a mistake. A mistake? James, you didn't accidentally lie to me. You chose to lie to me every single day. You looked me in the eyes and lied to me over and over again. I was scared of losing you. Well, congratulations. You lost me anyway. James was quiet for a moment. Maya, I know I messed up. I know I don't deserve forgiveness. But I'm begging you to give me a chance to make this right. How? How are you going to make this right? Are you going to go back in time and tell me the truth from the beginning? I can't do that, but I can be honest with you now about everything. It's too late for honesty. Please don't say that. Maya looked at James and realized that part of her wanted to forgive him. Part of her wanted to believe that they could work through this. But the bigger part of her knew that trust, once broken, was almost impossible to rebuild. James, even if I can forgive you for lying to me, I can't forgive you for what's happening now. My life is ruined because of you. Your life isn't ruined. I won't let it be ruined. You won't let it? James, you don't get to decide what happens to my life anymore. I'm going to fix the news stories. I'm going to make sure everyone knows the truth. The truth? What truth are you going to tell them? That you lied to your girlfriend for 6 months? That you watched her struggle financially while you had billions of dollars? That you treated her like she was some kind of experiment? It wasn't an experiment. Then what was it? Because I still don't understand why you did this to me. James ran his hands through his hair, looking frustrated. I told you, I was lonely. I wanted someone to love me for who I am, not for my money. But you didn't let me love you for who you are. You made me love a fake person. I'm the same person. No, you're not. The James the first loved was humble and kind and honest. The real James is controlling and manipulative, and he lies to get what he wants. That's not fair. Fair? You want to talk about fair? Is it fair that I can't go home because there are reporters outside my apartment? Is it fair that everyone thinks I'm a gold digger? Is it fair that I lost a man I loved because he never existed in the first place? James looked like he was in pain. Maya, I never meant for any of this to happen. But it did happen. And now I have to live with the consequences of your choices. Let me help you. Let me fix this. You can't fix this, James. You can't fix what you broke. I can try. Maya felt tears starting to form. I don't want you to try. I want you to leave me alone. I can't do that. Yes, you can. You can get in your car and drive away and never contact me again. Maya, I love you too much to give up on us. There is no us. There never was an US. There was just me loving someone who didn't exist. I exist. I'm standing right here. You're a stranger. The man I loved was kind and grateful, and he understood what it was like to struggle. You're none of those things. James looked like she had slapped him. I am kind. I am grateful. And I do understand. No, you don't. You have no idea what it's like to worry about rent money or to choose between buying groceries and paying bills. You just pretended to understand because you thought it would make me like you. I was trying to connect with you. You were lying to me. I was trying to be someone worthy of your love. The truth would have been worthy of my love. But you didn't trust me enough to tell me the truth. James was quiet for a long moment. You're right, he said finally. I should have trusted you. I should have told you the truth from the beginning. But you didn't. No, I didn't. And now I've lost the only person who ever mattered to me. Maya felt her heart breaking all over again. James, I can't do this anymore. I can't keep having this conversation. So what happens now? Now you leave, and you don't come back, and you let me try to rebuild my life without you. Maya, please. No, I'm done. I'm tired of talking about this. I'm tired of trying to understand why you did this to me. I'm tired of feeling like my heart is broken into a million pieces. I can help you put the pieces back together. You can't. You're the one who broke them. James looked at her for a long moment, and Maya could see that he was finally starting to understand that she was serious. If I leave now, will you promise me something? He asked. I'm not promising you anything. Promise me that you'll be careful. promise me that you won't talk to any reporters without a lawyer present. I don't want your advice. I know, but I'm giving it to you anyway. These people will twist your words and make you look bad no matter what you say. Why do you care how I look? Because I love you. Even if you don't love me anymore, I still love you. And I don't want to see you get hurt any more than you already have. Maya looked at James and saw something in his eyes that she had never seen before. It was like he was finally being completely honest with her. Fine, she said. I promise I'll be careful. Thank you. James started walking back toward his car, but then he stopped and turned around. Maya, I need you to know something. Everything I told you about loving you is true. Every moment we spent together was real for me. I know you don't believe me, but it's true. James, please just go. I'm going, but I need you to know that I'm not giving up on us. I'm going to find a way to make this right. There's nothing to make right. We're over. We're not over until you stop loving me. And I don't think you've stopped loving me yet. Maya felt her breath catch, because he was right. Despite everything, despite all the lies and all the pain, she still loved him. And that made everything hurt even more. Goodbye, James, she said quietly. This isn't goodbye, James said. This is just see you later. James got in his car and drove away, leaving Maya standing in the middle of Maria's farm, feeling more alone than she had ever felt in her life. That night, Maya couldn't sleep. She kept thinking about what James had said about not giving up on them. Part of her wanted him to keep fighting for her, but the bigger part of her knew that some things couldn't be fixed. She got up and walked outside, looking up at the stars. In the city, she could never see this many stars. Everything was clearer out here, simpler. Maya wished her feelings could be that simple too. Her phone buzzed. A text from James. I meant what I said. I'm not giving up on us. I'm going to prove to you that my love is real. Maya stared at the text for a long time. Then she typed back, Please don't. Please just let me go. James responded immediately. I can't. You're the best thing that ever happened to me. I'm going to fight for you. Maya turned off her phone and went back inside. She was exhausted from all the emotion, all the fighting, all the confusion. But as she lay in bed, she couldn't stop thinking about the way James had looked at her when he said he loved her. For just a moment, it had felt like the old James, the one she had fallen in love with. Maya shook her head. She couldn't let herself think that way. The old James had never existed. He had been alive from the beginning. But if that was true, then why did her heart still hurt so much? Maya closed her eyes and tried to sleep, but she had a feeling that this was far from over. James had said he wasn't giving up on them. And knowing James, he probably had a plan. Maya just hoped she would be strong enough to resist whatever he was planning. Because despite everything, despite all the lies and all the pain, she was still in love with him. And that terrified her more than anything else. 2 weeks later, Maya woke up to Maria shaking her urgently. Maya, you need to come outside. Now. What's wrong? Maya asked, sitting up quickly. Just come look. You're not going to believe this. Maya followed Maria outside and gasped. The entire farm was covered in flowers. Thousands and thousands of sunflowers had been planted overnight in perfect rows, creating a golden sea that stretched as far as she could see. In the middle of the field was a huge sign that read, M.A.Y., I'm sorry. Please give me one more chance. James. Oh my God, Maya whispered. There's more, Maria said, pointing to the sky. Maya looked up and saw a small airplane flying overhead, pulling a banner that said, Maya Rodriguez, the most beautiful person in the world. I love you, James Carter. Maya's phone started ringing. It was Rosa. Maya, are you seeing this? It's on the news. James Carter planted a field of sunflowers for you, and there are helicopters filming it from above. It's everywhere. Maya felt dizzy. He did what? Turn on your TV. It's on every channel. Maya ran inside and turned on the television. The news anchor was saying, Billionaire James Carter has made perhaps the most expensive romantic gesture in history, planting an entire field of sunflowers overnight for the waitress who captured his heart. The screen showed aerial footage of the farm, with the sunflowers spelling out, I love you, Maya, when viewed from above. Maya sank into a chair. He planted an entire field of flowers. Apparently, he bought the field next to your friend's farm. The news anchor continued. Sources say this gesture cost over $2 million and involved a team of 200 workers who planted the flowers overnight. Maya's phone was buzzing nonstop with calls and texts. Everyone she had ever known was contacting her about the sunflower field. Then she heard cars coming up the driveway. Lots of cars. "Oh no," Maya said. "The reporters found me." Maya and Maria watched through the window as news vans, cars, and even helicopters arrived at the farm. Within minutes, the peaceful farm was surrounded by reporters and cameras. "Maya!" Reporters were shouting. "Maya Rodriguez, can you comment on James Carter's romantic gesture? Are you going to forgive him? How does it feel to have a billionaire in love with you? Will you accept his apology?" Maya felt trapped. She couldn't leave the house without being mobbed by reporters, but she also couldn't stay inside forever. Her phone rang. It was James. Against her better judgment, Maya answered. "Did you see the flowers?" James asked immediately. "The whole world saw the flowers, James. What were you thinking?" "I was thinking that I love you, and I wanted everyone to know it. You made this worse. Now there are reporters everywhere. I can't even leave the house. I can get rid of the reporters. Just say the word." "James, you can't fix this with money. You can't fix this with grand gestures. You can't buy my forgiveness. I'm not trying to buy your forgiveness. I'm trying to show you how much you mean to me. By turning my life into a circus, by making this private situation even more public. Maya, I love you. I don't care who knows it. Well, I care. I care that I can't have a normal life anymore because of you. Come back to me, and you won't need a normal life. You can have an extraordinary life." Maya felt angry tears forming. "I don't want an extraordinary life. I want my ordinary life back. I want to work at my coffee shop and save money for college and worry about normal things like rent and groceries. You never have to worry about money again if you're with me. I don't want your money. Then what do you want?" "I want the man I fell in love with, but he doesn't exist." "I exist, Maya. I'm right here." "No, you're not. The man I fell in love would never have planted a field of flowers to manipulate me into forgiving him. I'm not manipulating you. I'm showing you how much I love you. You're showing the world how much money you have. There's a difference." James was quiet for a moment. "Maya, what if I gave it all up?" "What?" "What if I gave away all my money? What if I became the poor man you thought I was?" Maya couldn't believe what she was hearing. "James, you can't be serious." "I am serious. I would give up everything for you." "That's not the point." "Then what is the point?" "The point is that you lied to me. The point is that I can't trust you. Money has nothing to do with it. So if I had told you the truth from the beginning, we would be okay?" Maya thought about it. "I don't know. Maybe. But you didn't tell me the truth, so we'll never know." "Maya, I made a mistake. People make mistakes." "This wasn't a mistake, James. This was a choice. You chose to lie to me every day for 6 months. And I would choose differently if I could go back. But you can't go back." "No, but I can go forward. We can go forward together." Maya looked out the window at the field of sunflowers. It was beautiful, she had to admit, but it was also overwhelming and public, and everything she didn't want. "James, I need you to listen to me very carefully," Maya said. "I need you to call off the reporters. I need you to stop making grand gestures. And I need you to leave me alone." "I can't do that." "Yes, you can." "Maya, if I leave you alone, I lose you forever. You already lost me. I don't accept that." Maya felt exhausted. "It doesn't matter if you accept it or not. It's the truth. The truth is that you still love me." Maya's breath caught. "What?" "You still love me. I can hear it in your voice." "James." "You do, don't you? You still love me." Maya was quiet for a long moment. "It doesn't matter if I love you. It's the only thing that matters." "No, it's not. Love isn't enough. Trust matters. Honesty matters. Respect matters. I can earn those things back. You can try. But I don't think you understand how badly you hurt me. Then help me understand. Maya took a deep breath. James, you made me feel like a fool. You watched me worry and struggle and stress about things that you could have fixed with pocket change. You let me buy you dinner when you could have bought the entire restaurant. You made me feel sorry for you when you're one of the richest people in the world. I never wanted you to feel like a fool, but I do. I feel stupid and naive and embarrassed. You're not stupid. You're kind and trusting and beautiful. I trusted you and you betrayed that trust. I know, and I'm sorry. Sorry is enough, James. Then what is enough? Tell me what I need to do to make this right. Maya looked out at the field of sunflowers again. I don't think anything is enough. I think some things can't be fixed. I don't believe that. That's because you think money can fix everything. This isn't about money. Everything is about money with you, James. Even this conversation. You planted a $2 million field of flowers instead of just having an honest conversation with me. I try to have honest conversations with you. You wouldn't talk to me. So you decided to force me to talk to you by creating a media circus? I decided to show you how much you mean to me. You showed the world how much money you have. That's not the same thing. James was quiet for a moment. Maya, what if I told you something that no one else knows? Something that would help you understand why I did what I did. What? I can't tell you over the phone. I need to see you. James, I can't leave the house. There are reporters everywhere. I can fix that. How? Trust me. Give me 2 hours, and I'll clear out all the reporters. I don't trust you. Then give me a chance to earn your trust back. Maya thought about it. Part of her was curious about what James wanted to tell her. Part of her still loved him and wanted to see him. But the bigger part of her knew that seeing him again would just make everything harder. One conversation. Maya said finally, but not here and not in public. Where? There's a small chapel about 5 miles from here. It's usually empty. Meet me there in 3 hours. Maya, thank you. You won't regret this. I already regret it. After Maya hung up, she watched in amazement as James somehow made all the reporters disappear. Within an hour, the farm was quiet again. She didn't know how he did it, but it reminded her of just how powerful he really was. 3 hours later, Maya drove to the chapel. It was a small, simple building surrounded by trees. James was already there, sitting in the front pew. When Maya walked in, James stood up. He looked nervous, which was strange because Maya had never seen him nervous before. Thank you for coming, he said. What did you want to tell me? James took a deep breath. Maya, I need to tell you about my childhood. Okay. I grew up very poor. Poorer than you can imagine. Maya was confused. But you're a billionaire. I wasn't always a billionaire. When I was a kid, my family had nothing. We lived in a tiny apartment with no heat. My parents worked 3 jobs each, and we still couldn't afford enough food. Maya sat down in a pew, listening. When I was 10, my mom got sick. Really sick. We couldn't afford the medicine she needed, and she died because we didn't have money. Maya felt her heart break a little. James, I'm so sorry. After my mom died, I became obsessed with money. I decided that I would never be poor again, that I would never watch someone I love suffer, because I couldn't afford to help them. So you built your company. I built my company, and I made more money than I ever dreamed of. But the more money I made, the more people wanted things from me. Everyone who came into my life wanted something: money, connections, favors. Maya was starting to understand. When I met you, you were the first person in 20 years who didn't want anything from me. You were kind to me when you thought I had nothing. You cared about me when you thought I was poor. So, you decided to keep lying to me. I decided to see what it felt like to be loved for who I am instead of what I have. Maya looked at James, seeing him differently now. But you weren't being who you are. You were pretending to be someone else. I was pretending about my money, but everything else was real. My feelings for you, my personality, the way I treated you, all of that was real. But the money is part of who you are, James. It shaped your life and your choices. I know, and I should have told you the truth. Yes, you should have. James sat down next to Maya. I need you to know something else. The reason I panicked when you found out, it wasn't just because I was afraid of losing you. It was because I was afraid you would see me the way everyone else does. What do you mean? When people find out I'm rich, they either want something from me or they hate me for having so much. They never just see me. Maya looked at James and realized that he was crying. James, I know I messed up. I know I should have trusted you with the truth. But I was so scared of losing the one person who made me feel normal. Maya felt torn. Part of her understood why James had lied. Part of her even felt sorry for him. But the bigger part of her was still hurt and angry. James, I understand why you did it, but that doesn't make it okay. I know. You took away my choice. You decided that you knew what was best for me instead of letting me decide for myself. You're right. And now my life is ruined because of your choices. I'm going to fix that. You can't fix everything with money, James. I know, but I can try to fix some things. Maya looked around the simple chapel and felt peaceful for the first time in weeks. James, I need to ask you something, and I need you to be completely honest. Okay, if we got back together, would you ever lie to me again? About anything? James looked directly into her eyes. No, never. I would tell you everything, even if it hurt. How can I believe you? Because I've learned that losing you is worse than anything else that could happen to me. Maya felt her heart racing. James, I still love you, but I don't know if love is enough. It has to be enough. No, it doesn't. Trust has to be enough. Honesty has to be enough. Respect has to be enough. I can give you all those things. Can you? Can you really? Yes. Maya looked at James for a long moment. I need time to think. How much time? I don't know. Maybe a lot of time. I'll wait. You might be waiting forever. Then I'll wait forever. Maya stood up to leave, but James grabbed her hand gently. Maya, there's one more thing I need to tell you. What? I'm going to donate half of my money to charity. Whether you take me back or not, I'm going to give away $6 billion. Maya stared at him. Why? Because you're right. I have too much money, and there are people who need it more than I do. And because I want to be the kind of man you could be proud of. Maya felt tears forming in her eyes. James, I love you, Maya Rodriguez. I love you more than money, more than success, more than anything in this world. And I'm going to prove it to you, even if it takes the rest of my life. Maya pulled her hand away from James and walked toward the door of the chapel. Maya, wait. What are you thinking? Maya turned around and looked at James one more time. I'm thinking that you might actually mean it this time. I do mean it. I'm thinking that maybe, possibly, we might have a chance. James's face lit up with hope. Really? I said maybe. I'm not making any promises. Maybe is enough. Maybe is everything. Maya walked out of the chapel, leaving James sitting alone. As she drove back to the farm, she thought about everything James had told her. She thought about his mother dying because they couldn't afford medicine. She thought about him growing up poor and becoming obsessed with money. She thought about him donating $6 billion to charity. Most of all, she thought about the way he had looked at her when he said he loved her. For the first time since this whole mess started, Maya felt like maybe, just maybe, there was hope. But hope was a dangerous thing. Hope could lead to more heartbreak. Maya decided she would give James one chance to prove himself. One chance to show her that he had really changed. But if he messed up again, it would be over forever. As Maya pulled into farm driveway, she saw the field of sunflowers glowing golden in the sunset. Despite everything, it was beautiful. Maya smiled for the first time in weeks. Maybe James was right. Maybe love was enough. But he was going to have to prove it. 1 month later, Maya was back in the city, but everything had changed. She wasn't hiding anymore. She had given several interviews telling her side of the story, and slowly, public opinion had started to shift in her favor. People began to understand that she had been the victim, not the villain. James had kept his word about donating half his money. The news was everywhere. Billionaire gives away $6 billion to help poor families. In every interview, James mentioned that he was inspired by someone who taught him that kindness was more valuable than money. Maya knew he was talking about her. They had been texting occasionally. Nothing romantic. Just James updating her on the charity work, and Maya asking questions about how the money was being used. She was impressed despite herself. James wasn't just writing checks. He was personally involved in making sure the money went to the right places. Maya had also gone back to work at the coffee shop. The owner, Mr. Peterson, had been incredibly understanding about everything. He even gave Maya a raise and promised to help her pay for college. "You've been through enough," he said, "and you've brought more customers to this place than any advertisement ever could." It was true, ever since the story broke. People came to the coffee shop hoping to see the girl who fell for the billionaire. Maya didn't mind. Most of the customers were nice, and some even left huge tips. But Maya's life wasn't back to normal. It might never be normal again. She still got recognized on the street. She still got interview requests every day. And she still thought about James constantly. That's why, when her phone rang one Tuesday morning and it was James, her heart started racing. "Maya, I need to see you," James said. His voice sounded different, urgent, scared. "What's wrong?" "Something's happened. Something bad. Can you meet me at the coffee shop?" "James, you can't come to the coffee shop. There will be photographers everywhere." "I don't care about photographers anymore." "Maya, please. I really need you." There was something in his voice that made Maya's chest tight with worry. "Okay, I'll be there in 20 minutes. Maya arrived at the coffee shop to find James sitting in his old corner spot, the same place where he used to pretend to be poor. But he looked different now. He was wearing an expensive suit, and there were dark circles under his eyes like he hadn't slept in days. When he saw Maya, he stood up quickly. "Thank you for coming," he said. "What's going on? You sounded scared on the phone." James looked around the coffee shop, which was full of customers trying to pretend they weren't listening to every word. "Can we go somewhere more private?" he asked. "The back room," Maya said. They went to the small office behind the counter. As soon as the door closed, James grabbed Maya's hands. "Maya, I need to tell you something, and I need you to promise me you won't hate me." "James, you're scaring me." "What happened?" "The FBI came to see me yesterday." Maya's blood went cold. "The FBI? Why?" "They're investigating my company. Someone has accused me of stealing ideas from smaller companies and using my money to force them out of business." "Did you do it?" James was quiet for a moment. Some of it might be true. Maya pulled her hands away from his. "What do you mean, some of it might be true?" "I mean that in the early days of building my company, I might have done things that weren't completely fair. I was so obsessed with never being poor again that I didn't always care who I hurt." Maya stared at him. "James, are you telling me that you built your entire fortune by hurting other people?" "Not my entire fortune, but some of it. Yes." Maya felt like the room was spinning. "I can't believe this." "Maya, I was young and scared and desperate. I made bad choices." "Bad choices?" "James, you destroyed people's lives." "I know, and I've been trying to make up for it by giving away my money." "You can't make up for ruining people's lives by writing checks." "I know that now. That's why I called you." "What do you mean?" James took a deep breath. "The FBI wants me to confess to everything I did wrong. If I do, I'll probably go to prison for 5 to 10 years. Maya felt her heart stop. "Prison? But if I don't confess, they'll drag this out for years. They'll investigate everyone I've ever worked with, everyone I've ever been close to. They'll investigate you." "Me? Why would they investigate me?" "Because they think you might have known about the illegal things and helped me hide them. But I didn't know anything." "I know that, and you know that, but they don't know that. Maya, if I don't confess, you could be charged as an accomplice. You could go to prison, too." Maya sat down heavily in a chair. "This can't be happening. I'm so sorry. This is all my fault." "James, what are you going to do?" "I'm going to confess. I'm going to tell them everything I did wrong, and I'm going to make sure they know you had nothing to do with any of it." "You're going to prison?" "Yes." "For how long?" Probably 7 years if I cooperate fully. Maya felt tears starting to form, despite everything that had happened between them. The thought of James going to prison made her heart ache. There has to be another way. There isn't. Maya, I came here to ask you something. What? Will you wait for me? Maya looked at James in shock. What? I know I have no right to ask this. I know I've hurt you and lied to you and ruined your life. But I'm asking anyway. Will you wait for me while I'm in prison? James, I love you, Maya. I've never loved anyone the way I love you. These past few months, trying to prove myself to you, have been the happiest months of my life. You're asking me to wait 7 years for you? I'm asking you to give us a chance when I get out. I'm asking you to believe that I can become the man you deserve. Maya stood up and walked to the small window in the office. Outside, she could see the coffee shop where they had met, where they had fallen in love, where everything had started. James, I don't know if I can do that. I understand. 7 years is a long time. I know. I'll be 32 when you get out. You'll be 35. We'll be different people. Maybe, but maybe we'll be better people. Maya turned to look at James. What if I meet someone else while you're gone? James's face crumpled with pain, but he tried to hide it. Then I'll be happy that you found happiness. You wouldn't be happy. I'd be heartbroken, but I'd want you to be happy more than I'd want you to wait for me. Maya felt more confused than she had ever felt in her life. James, I still don't completely trust you. I know, and I'm still hurt by what you did to me. I know. And now you're telling me that you're not just a liar, you're also a criminal. I know. So why would I wait for you? James looked directly into her eyes. Because despite everything I've done wrong, I think you still love me. And I think you believe that people can change. Maya felt her heart racing. Because he was right. She did still love him. And she did believe people could change. James, if I said yes, if I said I would wait for you, what would that mean exactly? It would mean that when I get out of prison, we could try again. We could start over with complete honesty this time. And what if you get out and you change? What if prison makes you bitter or angry or different? Then you'll walk away and I'll understand. And what if I change while you're gone? What if I become someone different? Then I'll love whoever you become. Maya was quiet for a long moment. James, I need you to promise me something. Anything. I need you to promise me that you'll use your time in prison to become a better person. Not for me, but for yourself. I promise. And I need you to promise me that if I write to you, you'll write back honestly. No more lies, no more hiding things. I promise. And I need you to promise me that if I decide I can't wait for you, you'll accept that and leave me alone. I promise. Maya looked at James and realized that this was the first time in their entire relationship that she felt like she was talking to the real him. No lies, no games, no pretending. Just the truth, even when the truth was ugly. Okay, she said quietly. Okay, what? Okay, I'll wait for you. James's face lit up with joy and disbelief. Really? But I'm not promising to marry you or anything like that. I'm just promising to give us a chance when you get out. Maya, that's more than I deserve. Yes, it is. James stepped closer to her. Can I hug you? Maya nodded, and James wrapped his arms around her. For the first time in months, Maya felt safe and loved and home. I love you, James whispered in her ear. I love you too, Maya whispered back. But James... Yeah, if you ever lie to me again, even about something small, we're done forever. I understand. I mean it. Complete honesty from now on, or nothing. Complete honesty, James agreed. They held each other for a few more minutes, both knowing that this might be the last time they could do this for a very long time. When do you have to confess? Maya asked. Tomorrow. And when will you go to prison? Probably in a few weeks after all the paperwork is done. Maya pulled back to look at James. Are you scared? Terrified, but also relieved. Relieved? For the first time in my life, I'm going to face the consequences of my actions. I'm going to pay for the things I did wrong. Maybe that will help me become the man you fell in love with. The man I fell in love with was kind and humble and honest. Then that's who I'm going to become. Maya smiled through her tears. Good. James kissed her forehead gently. I have something for you. James, if it's expensive. It's not expensive. I promise. James reached into his pocket and pulled out a small, simple necklace with a tiny sunflower pendant.